Before time, before existence, the creative force of the universe formed heaven and earth. The earth was void. Darkness covered the surface, and powerful winds swept over the waters. He created light and dark, day and night, the rivers, trees, and wildlife. He formed man, Adam, from dust, and from him created woman, Eve, to be his companion. He placed them in charge of the garden to watch over every being in the natural kingdom. They were free to eat from any tree, except for the tree that would alert them to the secret knowledge of good and evil as one. There was a serpent in the garden, the shrewdest of all the beasts. He came upon Eve while she was picking fruit.
Why not take fruit from that tree? We cannot eat that fruit. We will die. You will not die. Your creator knows that as soon as you eat it, you will know everything. Just like him. Your eyes will be opened, and you will know both good and evil as one.
Eve was intrigued, and when she decided it would be advantageous, she took of its fruit and ate. Then she turned to inspire Adam, and he ate. Abram and his father Terach were first to arrive at the meeting point. The oasis lay on the edge of a strange land, a harsh terrain of primitive tribes and armed Bedouins.
The tribes call the coastal route Canaan, dangerous territory. But those who risk it bring back riches from Egypt.
I can open a trade route. We might recover what was lost to us.
There is no recovering what we have lost.
Abram's remaining family arrived. They had escaped in the night, with no more than the clothes on their back.
What has become of us? We were once a noble family. Now we are reduced to fugitives in the wilderness.
You were exiled for my crimes against the king. A responsibility I do not take lightly. This may be the end of our days in Ur, but it marks a new beginning for our family. We are no longer servants of a tyrant king, but our own masters. And in time, I know we will establish a new legacy, a new tribe and era for our people.
Where do you expect us to build this new legacy, brother?
There are good pastures a day's ride from here. You and Father can settle the area.
And you?
I'm going south, into Canaan.
I have an adopted daughter of marriageable age. There's no future for her here.
If she agrees to it, I'll take her south with me.
Speak to her. More importantly, listen to her. She sees beyond what one's eyes behold. Sarai, Abram wishes to meet you. May we?
Of course.
Abram, come in. My daughter...
It's you.
The garden.
You know one another?
Nahor, please. I understand it's against our custom, but I must speak to Abram alone.
As you wish.
I can't believe my eyes.
This is impossible. We've never even met.
Tell me what you remember.
I remember your face. We were in a garden. I remember a creature. I remember...
The fruit. You tasted the fruit of the tree.
Abram, it's clear we shared this dream. This is fate. We've received a message from the heavens. We have to find out what it means.
Despite what you have put us through, I had hoped we wouldn't part so soon.
I'll send word as soon as I can. Father, do you know of a legend concerning a garden and a sacred tree?
Paradise. A legend. But my knowledge does not stretch back that far. Why do you ask?
Sarai and I met for the first time, but we knew each other. We have walked together in dreams, always in the garden. I must find out what this means.
You have a distant relative, a high priest who retains knowledge of the ancient world. He's one of the last great men of that time. He will have the answers you are seeking.
Where do I find him?
Canaan. You seek Shem, the righteous king of Shalem.
Abram and Sarai left Haran and traveled south. They approached the hills of Shalem, a small Amorite settlement on the mountain of Moriah. The men of the village came out to meet them.
Who goes there? What is your purpose here?
I am Abram, son of Terach. This is Sarai, daughter of Nahor. We are looking for a relative, the high priest Shem.
Follow me. You can camp east of his temple, opposite the valley. Then I will take you to him.
Abram and Sarai approached the tent of the high priest.
Go inside. He's been waiting for you.
Shem, I am Abram. My father sent us to you.
I'm glad you two found each other again. Sit down. You must have a lot of questions.
I don't know quite where to begin, but Sarai and I shared a dream. A dream of a garden.
I know of the garden, and have seen what you have seen. My memory goes back further than you can imagine.
I've turned this over in my mind 1,000 times. For whatever reason, it's out of my reach.
Your grandfather should have passed the traditions down. This is your birthright, Abram. Part of who you are. They've told you nothing of your ancestry? What is the last thing you both remember?
We remember eating fruit from a tree, but we weren't supposed to.
And then horrible pain and suffering, doubt and loss.
But before that, it was perfect, pure. I would do anything to return to the garden.
Ah. You have been blessed with connection to the souls of Adam and Eve. The first speaking man and woman who brought forth all humanity. For them, there was no separation between heaven and earth. All was united. When they took of the tree, everything changed. Heaven and earth were split, and Adam and Eve were separated from our Creator. Humanity would never be the same. They were cast from the garden into a world they had never known. They had to bend their backs beneath the harsh sun to find food and water. They covered their bodies and built shelter to protect them from the elements. Eve's children brought murder into the world, and their descendants fashioned weapons of war. The purity of mankind was lost. I was born in that time of darkness. Man had grown so corrupt, so depraved. I remember them tearing the limbs from live animals. They would rape and plunder, destroy anything that got in their way. They believed in nothing. It was a world of unimaginable cruelty. Only my father, Noah, walked with God and saw clearly. He had visions of the entire world submerged by water, and knew catastrophe was upon us. My brothers and I helped my father to construct a giant vessel. It took over 100 years to build, and by the time we finished, the rains began to fall. The animals came, 2 of each kind, and we closed ourselves in after them. The storm grew stronger, and the abyss of the earth opened. The lower waters rose to meet the downpour. We were lifted from the ground. The vessel surged high above the mountains. The rain kept coming until the entire earth was submerged. Humanity had been annihilated, and we were the only survivors. We were terrified, but hopeful. We knew the continuation of mankind would depend on us. After 40 days, the rain stopped, and there was light in the world again. We released a dove, and it returned carrying an olive branch in its beak. The earth had been cleansed of evil. We hit dry land and emerged into a new, an empty world. Everything had changed. The soil, the vegetation. It's why the lifespan of man was cut short. My brothers and I are the last men to live for centuries.
How old are you?
You wouldn't believe me if I told you. I have lived on this earth for 600 years. After the flood, my father sent us to settle the earth. My brother, Ham, was given Egypt, Japhet, the east, and this land, before it became known as Canaan, was given to me.
How could I not know any of this?
Abram, you have been chosen to reveal the path for mankind, to return to the garden. Our time together is far from over. I have so much to show you, so much to give you. You will need land to settle, and food, but we are in the grips of famine. Go south to Egypt. My brother Ham rules there. He will take you in. But be on guard. Do not trust him, especially with Sarai. I will anxiously await your return.
Shem, son of Noah, you have our loyalty and gratitude. There is no doubt we will see each other again.
Abram and Sarai journeyed through the desert dunes, approaching the gates of Pharaoh's city.
This is a strange place to me. I don't know how to protect you here. Sarai, if I am killed, they will take you.
They will not take me. You are going to gift me to Pharaoh. You will name me your sister and present me as a suitable bride. Pharaoh will honor you and raise your station, and you will leave this place a wealthy man with me at your side. Trust in me, Abram.
I never doubt you.
Pharaoh, a northerner has arrived, with people and possessions. Abram, son of Tarok. He claims to have been sent by your brother.
I'll see them privately.
My lord, we are humbled in your presence. You have built a glorious city. Your brother Shem spoke of your success and sends blessings from Canaan. I am Abram, son of Terach. I would be honored to introduce my sister, Sarai.
Sarai stepped forward, and Pharaoh gazed upon the most beautiful woman he had ever seen.
Mighty Pharaoh, Shem felt an advantageous agreement might be achieved to our mutual satisfaction.
What is it that you need, Abram?
There is famine in Canaan. I seek supplies, water, and pastures for my herd.
We have pastures in abundance, and our rivers are never dry. But your sister will not be at ease in the fields. Let Sarai stay here in the palace. She will be treated with the utmost respect and be under my personal protection. Ah, you will want to trade while you're here. My steward can make all the arrangements.
Your hospitality is unprecedented, my lord.
Sarai moved into Pharaoh's palace, living with his many wives and daughters. Pharaoh sent for her many times. Then one night, drunk and hell-bent, Pharaoh forced himself into Sarai's chambers.
My lord, to what do I owe the pleasure?
I've come to collect what is owed to me. I've waited long enough.
You know the stars are not in alignment for our union. We must wait just a little longer.
I command the stars. This is my kingdom. I am God here. You will do as I command.
If you value your family, you will keep your distance.
Father? What are you doing?
Hagar! Have someone clean this up. Never speak of this.
Sarai, I'm so sorry. Are you hurt?
Thanks to you, I am safe. I will repay you one day, Hagar. Before the Creator, you have my word.
That night, Pharaoh broke into a painful fever. By morning, his entire family were sick with plague.
And my daughter, Hagar?
Her too, my lord. Your entire household is afflicted.
It's a curse. I've offended the gods. What of Sarai?
The northern woman is unaffected.
My lord.
Sarai, I know this is your doing. Pray to your god to lift this curse!
I will lift the curse, and in return, you will give me your daughter Hagar. Offer my husband servants and riches, and provide us with safe passage from Egypt.
Your husband?
Huh, I thought the gods were all-knowing.
Pharaoh, Sarai only did this because
You came into my palace. You lied to my face. I opened every door for you. I gave you the best of my kingdom, everything you needed. And what have you done to me? You didn't tell me she was your wife. I nearly took her as mine.
Pharaoh.
You've endangered my kingdom, Abram. Take Sarai and leave. You're free to go.
And Pharaoh put men in charge of them and sent them off with the spoils of Egypt. Abram and Sarai returned to Canaan and settled near Mamre to trade possessions. The 5 southern tribes of Canaan rose against the 4 kings of the north, meeting in battle along the valley floor near the shores of the Dead Sea.
Kingdoms of the North, take every soul, dead or alive, for Elam! 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 Canaanites! These invaders leave with nothing! To the death! For our descendants, for our gods, and for our land!
One man, Eliezer, escaped the battle and fled into the wilderness.
Abram, news from the battlefield. The northern kings have conquered the Canaanites. I saw them take your nephew.
They've taken Lot? Who has him?
The Elamite king. What are your commands?
Gather the men. Arm them. We ride tonight. The Elamite forces are worn from battle and drunk with victory. We will raid them in darkness and free the prisoners.
Abram and his warriors rode through the night, closing in on the Elamite camp.
Abram, I'm not waiting.
Eliezer, not until I've freed the captives.
They're kept in that tent. Their guard is down.
Split the men. Surround the camp. I'm going in. Wait for my signal.
Abram crept silently to the tent of prisoners, guarded by a single soldier. Abram killed the guard and snuck into the tent, moving through the crowd of captives. A hand grabbed him, and he came face to face with his nephew.
Lot, come quickly! All of you, move! Now!
They know we're here.
Now! Lot, retreat! Get these people to safety!
Abram! I know where the king is!
Abram and Eliezer tore through the camp, swords drawn. As they reached the tent, they saw the king fleeing.
He's getting away!
Take down his horse! Where is the man who took my nephew and murdered my brother? Where is Nimrod?
Nimrod's not my king. I cannot answer on his behalf. I saw him flee. That is all I know. Abram, have mercy.
Let this be a warning to anyone that dare lay a hand on my family. Eliezer, finish him.
Eliezer drove his sword into the king.
It's done.
Abram's men gathered the spoils of war and traveled with the captives to the Valley of the Kings. Shem brought out wine and bread to honor Abram's victories.
Silence! Silence! Abram, you have defeated our enemies and liberated these souls. Blessed be Abram of the Almighty God. creator of heaven and earth, and blessed be the Almighty, who has delivered our foes into your hands.
With the war over, Abram settled, but he did not rest. His sleep was shaken by visions and powerful dreams.
What did you see?
My ancestors, then my descendants, thousands of souls stretching across time and space, a sacred dynasty. I saw the sons and daughters of my line, Sarai.
Abram, I would give my life to give you a son. But the dream... Take Hagar. I trust her. She is with me and will give you what I cannot.
Abram went to Hagar, and she bore him a son, Ishmael. But Sarai and Abram clung to a vision of their own line. She was well beyond childbearing years, when one hot day, 3 strangers appeared at camp. Abram rushed out to greet them.
Brothers, where are you coming from?
Far beyond the north.
Come in, rest your feet. We have a full table. My family and I would be honored to host you.
Abram ran out to his herd to select calves. He would feed his guests only the best. One calf escaped, and Abram followed it to a cave. Entering, he caught what he could only describe as the scent of the garden.
Abram. What is this place? The burial ground of your ancestors. It is the portal through which all souls pass to the next world. Adam and Eve rest here, and so will you and Sarai. Your names will be Abraham and Sarah. You will be blessed with a son and remembered as the mother and father of nations. He told me we would have a son.
Not in my lifetime.
But beyond reason, beyond hope, Sarah did conceive a son, and they named him Isaac. The years passed. Isaac grew into a fine man, devoted to his parents and the Creator.
Abraham, we must find Isaac a wife. It is my will to see his children before I die.
He is not marrying a Canaanite woman. I will not allow it.
Of course not. She must come from our line, so we can return to the garden. My brother has daughters. Send Eliezer to discuss arrangements.
Abraham tarried while negotiating land for peace deals with his enemies. Then he dreamed of an unspeakable sacrifice. He woke, knowing it was a commandment from God.
I'm taking Isaac on a pilgrimage to Shalem.
Did you dream of an offering?
I saw the altar on the foundation stone of creation.
Everyone has to make sacrifices, Abraham. This is our only way back.
Abraham and Isaac rose early, saddled the donkey, and Sarah came out to see them off.
Isaac, Abraham, my life is blessed because of the love of my husband and the love of my son. Never did I think I'd be lucky enough to have both of you. Isaac, I waited a lifetime to meet you. You are my greatest joy, We will meet again, my son.
Sarah stood watching until long after Abraham and Isaac were out of sight. Abraham and Isaac traveled to the mountain of Moriah. It was a somber journey, both men looking inwards as they made the climb. Abraham knew what lay ahead, but could not say the words. There was no need. Isaac sensed it and prepared himself for the test of ultimate sacrifice. They reached the mountain, and Abraham built an altar. He turned to Isaac, who offered his hands and allowed his father to bind them. Isaac climbed upon the altar, closed his eyes, and saw only the garden. Abraham raised the knife and pressed it to his son's throat.
Creator of the universe, I submit to your will completely. Accept the offering of my most cherished, most beloved son, Isaac, light of my life, child of my old age. May this sacrifice find favor in your eyes. And may it be the fulfillment of the purpose you have given me. It is a sign. My son will live. Praise the Creator for providing this ram. It will be our offering.
They made the burnt offering and returned home. Eliezer met them at the gates.
Abraham, it's Sarah.
Abraham knew that Sarah had died. He would lay her to rest beside Adam and Eve in the cave of Machpelah, the gateway to the garden.